A critical part of the NTSB's investigation revolves around the flight recorder, what is commonly called the black box. The NTSB says in their report, the black box combined cockpit voice and flight data recorder does not actually record date, time information, or helicopter position information, adding even more work for the investigators. Inconsistency in the data for pressure altitude values has led the NTSB to declare it as invalid. Sean Logging sits down with the NTSB to explain how the black boxes could be a major factor in determining the cause of the crash.
This is video from the NTSB after the flight recorder or black box was recovered from Flight 5342 and investigators started working on it.
I would say they're critical, and that's because a lot of the times that information isn't available from any other source. So we're getting a contemporaneous account of what's going on.
Chris Babcock is the Vehicle Recorder Division Branch Chief with the NTSB. He says what we commonly call a black box is two separate devices. The cockpit voice recorder,
recording audio and conversation that's occurring on the flight deck of the airplane. So we're listening to the captain and the first officer and any jump seat occupant that might be present, as well as any sounds that the airplane itself is making, any alerts or horns.
And the flight data recorder with information on airspeed, altitude, and GPS.
The behavior of the aircraft systems, what the airplane is doing in space and time.
The cockpit voice recorder, or CVR, records up to 2 hours of audio, with the earliest recording being overwritten with the newest. The flight data recorder, or FDR, records up to 25 hours of data, with some nearly 90 different data streams recorded on newer aircraft. They're also made to be durable.
They're required to sustain an impact force of over 3,000 times the force of gravity and have that data still survive. In addition, they're exposed to extreme heat, upwards of 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
When recovered from a crash, care is taken to make sure it's protected. If recovered from water, the flight recorder is kept in water until it's back at the lab, as you can see here. That's when it's disassembled, cleaned, and repaired before investigators start working on the data.
We'll take apart that crash-protected housing, so we're down to the memory chips level to make sure there's no dissolved solids that might be present, there's no short circuits that might be present. It's a very thorough and rigorous inspection and repair process.
Babcock says throughout the investigative process, the data will be used to reach conclusions and determine probable cause. For Fact Finder, Sean Logging, 12 News.
It's a challenging airport. It has been for a long time, and it's time we addressed some of the issues there.
So to come, we will hear from a former NTSB board member who shares the challenges of making recommendations to the FAA.